thanks for having me here. I am really humbled to be part of this organization. I'm actually overwhelmed to some extent. I feel the strength and the power of this society, which I'm very new to. And so I'm very excited about working towards the goals of St. Vincent. So I did call looking for a volunteer opportunity, hoping to get some little back office corner where I could do some spreadsheets maybe, and do some math and stuff that I like. And I do have other passions, and so look what I'm doing. Okay. I do want to add a little bit to this. I have strong roots in the community. I'm a Dallas native, actually, born in St. Pius X Parish, went to grade school there, went to Cistercian prep. Other than going to universities out of the city, I've lived here all my life. My wife's a professional musician. She's been playing with the choir at the University of Dallas Church of the Incarnation for 30 years now. She's been the music teacher at Cistercian Prep School for 25 years. My three boys went through Holy Family and through Cistercian. I care a lot about Dallas. We're all Texas proud. I'm Dallas proud. And I really care about this city. And, you know, the bumper sticker, if you weren't, I wasn't born in Texas, but got here as fast as I could. Welcome to all of you. This is good. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the garden. I've been involved for a short period of time, and we're still at the infancy. There we go. So we have these lots that Michael told you about. They're in a very economically underdeveloped area. I was struck when I first drove into this neighborhood that approximately half of the lots are empty. They've either never been built on or, more often, had a home demolished. I also went on, what's that, Zillow, I think, that real estate site. And of the houses that are there, almost a third of them have the color that tells you they're in foreclosure. So that's what this area is experiencing right now. It's not, I wouldn't call it neat, but it's also doesn't appear blighted in fashion. So this concept of the gardens is coming from this other concept or designation of a food desert. If y'all haven't heard about that. There are some communities that just don't have good grocery stores close enough that the residents can get to it. And grocery stores are where you're going to find good produce, fresh food, and more healthy food. So this zip code is known as a food desert. So what is our vision? At the highest level, we have this land, and there should be a value to this land, and it should be for the neighborhood where the land is located. So this idea of a garden comes up. I think that's wonderful. It's making the neighborhood look better would be a really nice start. The city will come out and mow it to keep the weeds down, but it still doesn't look neat, I would say. If we can provide some fresh produce to the residents, that would be great. Underlying all of this, though, would be if we could set a spark or fertilize the community with some spirit where this community involvement would grow and blossom throughout the neighborhood.
Love your fun.
I'm digging deeper now.
You're encouraging him. Don't encourage him.
So that's the concept. Now, the plan is very fluid. We're making quite a bit of progress, but there's really, other than a permit for a water meter to be installed stapled to a tree, we don't really have anything else right now. And the first thing we did was George Ballard and his own group and other brother groups and sister groups he works with in the community helped us with a survey. And yeah, I'll take you through this. And we'll go through, I have like 3 or 4 summary pages of the survey. So we want to make sure we're doing what the neighborhood would like to have done and not what we want to do. I would hope that there's some meshing of guidance from knowledge we'll get from experts and working that into what they really need in the community. So we're focused on a kickoff event, which is not yet scheduled. We want to get some crops in the ground and get some community members and neighborhood members involved and out there, getting their hands dirty and meeting neighbors maybe that they haven't met before. And I very much see this as a learning by doing. Michael keeps saying start small, settle down, calm down, take a deep breath. I mean, if you think about this on many levels, I mean, it really is an awesome concept. And it's scary in an overwhelming way. So we want to start small, we want to learn, we want to prepare for failures along the way. And but what I see is a wonderful opportunity here to make a really important impact in this community, and probably in ways that we're not even thinking about right now. That's usually how these things happen. So this survey supports the concept of what we want to do, and we'll go, yeah, let's go. So first of all, and this shouldn't be surprising to anybody really, but we wanted them to tell us, so we can tell them they told us this. Do you like to grow things, flowers or vegetables? Well, yeah, most people do. Who wouldn't? If you have some really good video games, maybe you want to get out there. Would you like to volunteer to help? Yeah, majority says we think that sounds like something we're interested in. We took that to a lower level just to say, well, next page. So, do you need some incentive to get involved with the garden? A plurality said they would like food out of it. Well, that's good. We like that. That's a win-win situation. Only 20%, I was surprised at this number being so low, are thinking about money, that they want to be paid for their service. So I find this very encouraging. So part of the idea about the service of your house and yard, if we're out there keeping this area nice and clean and maintaining it with volunteers, there's no reason we can't be doing work on adjacent lots and houses, just kind of be more of landscaping for the community. We'll see how that kind of flows out. This was an important question. What could go wrong with the garden? So, animals, sure, big animals, small animals, little bitty animals, eating the product. But 2 points here. One, this vandalism is a really big number, but I dug in on the survey results, and there were quite a few that they went pretty far out of the neighborhood, almost a mile away, a street called Pennsylvania. And evidently there's some other unique challenges going on in that sub-neighborhood that I think don't apply to the neighborhood where these blocks are. So I'm hoping that risk is exaggerated. But the other one that's really critical is neglect. So this is part of what, I was going to use a strong word. This is really concerning to me because if I'm going to get involved in this, I'm going to be passionate about it, and it's going to really matter to me. But I have a full-time job, and I have other obligations, and I'm not going to be going out here every 2 days like I will in my own garden, in my own house. And we're really going to have a support system to show a commitment here, because this is, you don't win people over in 1 day or 1 week or even a month. So we can't let this happen. With whatever we kick off and whatever we do, if it really goes to neglect, then it can almost be worse than us doing nothing at all. I'm sure in all the service that y'all provide, you've seen this before. I mean, here I'm talking to you. Y'all are the experts. I'm so new to this, and I'm just hoping to learn so much from the society about what service really is. But this one worries me. I think if we go in, we've got to be prepared to go in and stay. Did I have another slide? This also confirmed what we're trying to do, because I think I know, by the way, we put parking up there. Based on what you told me. But the majority, majority, not just plurality, are really would like to see a garden here. So that's what I have. Big questions are still out there. So, and I think there'll be evolution here. Whether it's a more of a community type of, how can I use the right word, all-in, as far as we plant produce and everybody shares in the bounty, or if we go to more of these suburb community gardens they've set up where we let somebody have a plot, do whatever they want with that plot. There's some pretty big, a lot of options on how to approach this. And again, we'll come up with a way to get started with the greatest probability of some success, and then look for the development. We'll be flexible. We've got to pay attention to the feedback we get and keep moving. All right. Yes?
I have a question. I'm familiar with that area, and I'm just wondering, because the long-range forecast for our summer here in Dallas is going to be, because of the La Nina, probably much hotter and drier than usual this summer. And that means probably more than 50 days like we've had in the past of over 100 degrees. What are we going to do about watering?
We do have water. We will have water service there. Initially, we're just going to have a tap, and we'll have hoses or whatever we need to get the water out there. We looked into an irrigation system. That would be a waste at this point because we don't have a design that we're confident will be around very long. So we're also looking at designs that make use of shade from trees that are in the area, and then also organizing, like maybe something that grows on a trellis that blocks the afternoon sun from a crop that likes the morning sun but can't take the afternoon heat. So these are considerations of how we set it up. All right. Yes, sir.
I might have missed this, but what exactly is this?
Oh, these lots their streets are Farragut and Perry. They're just south of Lincoln High School. 75215, probably 3 miles away as the crow flies from right here.
There's a map.
The white bubble.
They're in the center, right?
Like
It's
the
down.
Well, there you go.
They're in the center.
Yeah, it's actually out where Malcolm X Boulevard dead ends. Yeah.
Are the two lots right there together?
No, they are not adjacent. We're going to focus on one to start with.
And how large is that lot?
The lots are 40 feet by 90 feet, and they're not adjacent. However, we think there may be some opportunity through city-owned lots or privately owned lots to actually use more land than we have. I think land is basically free out here. So I'm confident that if we need more room for crops, we're going to get it. Yes?
I'm presuming you've looked at other community gardens. I can speak to one in Plano that is managed by a Baptist church. And the citizens who get a plot are guaranteed so much of their produce, and then the remainder goes to the local food pantries. So it's a really good setup, and it's been there for a number of years. So.
Yeah, I visited a similar one in Farmers Branch this last week, and Capel has a community garden. Most of them have connections into some charitable organization. So, yeah, that's a concept I think works well.
We want to talk about the visiting Bonton Farms.
Oh, yeah. So about a mile and a half away is a pretty large farm. It's called Bonton Farm. It's run by HIS Bridge Builders. And it's a full-time farm. I don't know how many acres. I think it's about 15 lots is a way to think about it. And they don't grow in a plot type basis. It's just a farm, and they actually sell most of their produce. But part of their mission is using community, hiring or helping community members, many of them ex-convicts, by having them work in these gardens. So their approach, the produce in the garden itself is really secondary to their mission and what they're doing in this neighborhood. But I mean, it's awesome. If y'all ever get a chance to visit it, I think you should. It's not only crops, they've got some fruit trees in now, they've got goats, they've got chickens, they make honey, and I think they're doing something hydroponically now. It's an impressive operation, but it's big. So we've asked them if we can be their little satellite and maybe give us some guidance and help since we're pretty close.
How do you spell the name of that first farm?
B as in boy, O-N-T-O-N, Bonton.
Okay, thank you.
That's actually the name of the neighborhood, and that's why they named the farm after it.
The comments are up here.
Oh, okay. I picked out some of the comments to show you a diversity here of hope and despair. So the first one, I don't think there's any community here. Next one, great idea. Next one, this community won't take care of the garden. Next one, thinks the garden would help community have accountability and give hope. Bring the community together. A concern about addicts and vandalism, open spaces. And then the positive, really, instead of more spiritual and environmental, this, hey, I think it will help with health issues if we have some fresh food. Again, we'll learn by doing. We have to be prepared for some setbacks along the way, but I'm sure we're going to have a good plan. We're going to give it our best.